anyone who's known me for a while knows that I am and have been absolutely nuts. My wife will tell you regarding what people call chemtrails. It's not chemtrails. Don't ever call them chemtrails. Don't say it. Don't. That has been designated by those in charge as being a conspiracy theory. If you go and look up chemtrails right now, just look it up. Go to Wikipedia, the official narrative writer of the left. You know who that is? I'll take it later. Wish I could grab that for me real quick. Maybe that's not it. Okay, hang on one second. This is important, my friends. Hang on a second. Good day, sir. That is quite all right. I'm doing my live broadcast right now. Are we okay for the time I had suggested? Wonderful. I will talk to you about it tomorrow. We are all set, and I will announce it accordingly as I speak. And you saw, and you saw what Marjorie Taylor Greene did today, right? Alex had covered it. She is. Oh, wonderful. Well, we're going to be doing it tomorrow, my friend. Excellent. Talk to you then. I'll talk to you in the morning. Thank you, sir. That was the one and only Dane Wigington. I'm going to be having him on tomorrow Monday morning, 1 o'clock, 1 to 5 on my Eastern time on the WABC show. He is the preeminent person on this. He is it. Nobody can come close to him. What he has done, what he has endured, what he has discussed, nobody, and I mean nobody, can hold a candle to him. He is just absolutely, it's just incredible what he has done. And what he's also done is he has provided such incredible scientific. By the way, we'll talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's got more information on that. Finally, it's making its ways. Trump is talking about it. Bobby Kennedy, who is, I don't know what Bobby Kennedy is waiting for. I don't understand it. There's something obviously going on more than I know or I'm privy to, because he has been exceedingly cautious to the point of, I don't know why he's been so cautious. But in any event, it doesn't matter. I'm glad that he's at least talking about it. Thank God. Because what we're seeing right now is a resurgence, or rather an injection and an infusion of interest in this. Before I begin, let me make sure I get this out of the way, because this is critical. We're going to be talking about this and others. We're going to be doing a kind of an anti-Zoran Mamdani rally 2 weeks from today at the Cutting Room. It's going to be to call it I don't want to call it stand-up. You have no idea. I don't like that. It's demeaning to call it that. It's beyond that. What I do, I think, is far more important. In any event, we're going to be talking about that. So please, tickets are available 2 weeks from today, Cutting Room, New York City. Enjoy the fun. Meet fellow travelers, fellow observers, fellow members of the conspiratorium, those of us who have been with this since day one. You'll meet some of the best people ever. It's like you think of this almost like reverse AA. I don't know what the word is. You're going to meet fellow people addicted to the truth who want to remain addicted to the truth. Does that make sense? I'm not trying in any way to mock this. I'm not kidding around about this. This is the most important. This is just absolutely critical that we discuss this. So anyway, So please, tickets are available. You've got the link right there. 2 weeks from today. I can't wait to see you. Please bring cameras. Let's enjoy the nightlife, so to speak. And anyway, I'm so happy about this. I have been saying for the longest time, and maybe you can help me. I've been saying this for the longest time, that if there's one subject that I wish I could see exposed before I, move on, as they say, it's going to be geoengineering. And geoengineering, of course, we never call it chemtrails. Never. It is designed. They are ready to jump on you if you call it chemtrails. If you then review geoengineering, it's a different story altogether. It's completely different. It's 100% different. And the reason why it's different, the reason why it's critical, is that it's a different concept. I'll give you an idea of what Dane and I have been talking about. He lives in California, and for a long time he wanted to, I guess, have a kind of live sort of off the grid, so to speak. And he had everything set up, and his solar collection panels and everything that a good citizen wanted to do. He just wanted to, do the right thing. Okay. Make a long story short, for reasons that nobody really knows, he decided, or he was wondering, why is this not catching on? Why is my solar paneling not working? What is going on here? What is happening? How is this not working? Blah, 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 blah. And what happened was, he found out that he went out and he started to look at the amount of actual sunlight that was being collected, and it was reduced to virtually nothing. He said, how can that be? I see the sun. I'm almost on top of a mountain. How is this even possible? How is this remotely possible? How does this... Okay. Make a long story short, he did some testing and found out that other people noticed as well that there is a dimming. There is an actual, legitimate, actual, true dimming. The sun is not getting here. Something is preventing the sun from getting here. What is it? That led him on. They found out also later that when people were investigating ground analyses and the like, looking at the soil, there was a higher concentration of aluminum and barium and strontium and all of these things. So what is happening? He went around. Then all you had to do was this. You ready? You had to do this. That's it. You just had to look up. And for the longest time, we saw something which, to me, is an example of something I will never forget as long as I live. And that is how people looked the other way when they actually saw people, when they saw spraying. They saw spraying, and they said, no, that's condensation. That's something else. That's not, I don't know what that is, but that's not spraying. It can't be spraying. It's not spraying. Nobody's spraying anything. It's like, what are you talking about? They're spraying it. They're spraying something. I don't know what it is. No, it's not spraying. It's not spraying. It's water vapor. It's you see them all the time. Those B-52 pictures and photos. You've seen that. No. This isn't condensation. Yes, we know what contrails are. We know what contrails are. We know what condensation trails are. These are not condensation trails. Do you hear what I am saying? Kelly McKinnon, thank you, dear heart. Thank you for this. I'm trying not, I can't be any more serious than this. This is personal. And I'll tell you why in a moment. So they called me crazy. I said, this is not condensation trails. Water vapor does not spread across huge swaths of earth real estate, covering landmass, filtering the sun with gauzy, cheeseclothy, hazy, diaphanous sprays and streaks. It dissipates. It doesn't last. If you go outside during a cold spell, if it's freezing and you go outside and you blow, whatever smoke, cigarette, it doesn't spread out and cover your neighborhood. It doesn't, it's contrary to common sense. We went through that with masks. When people were saying, how am I smelling things? This mask cannot stop a virus. Oh, there you go again. You're an anti-vaxxer, a conspiracy theorist, and you're saying this has nothing to do with vaccines. This is about mask physics. We've been through this. We've seen buildings fall at free fall speed, defying every known law of physics, rational thought, name it. We've seen this. We have seen this to the point where we said, no, you don't understand. You see jet fuel, and we've been through over and over and over. But this is the one where I'm saying no. All you have to do is look up. When we look out the window and we look down, I guess south, so to speak. It's not really south because Manhattan, as you know, juts out. So what we think is south is really east. Anyway, when we look up and we see Jersey at night, sunset, when the sun goes down in that sleepy little town right around San Antonio, and the sky gets orangey, you can see streak after streak after streak up like octothorpes, like hashtags. This is not condensation. This is not water vapor. This is not that. This is something else. They have pictures of jets with spray and then stopping and then turning back on again. Sprays. Is it in the jet fuel? We don't know. Is it mixed? We don't know. Who's doing this? Where are these? What's happening? Why can't we? Do these planes have transponders? Have we ever just found a plane, found it, followed it, send a jet air after it, and say, okay, stop, you, pull over, so to speak. What are you spraying? Who are you? Are they doing it at night? Do you remember? Maybe you don't, but I do. Anybody in New York remembers on September the 11th, what everybody says is it was one of the most beautiful days ever. Crystal blue persuasion. No, crystal blue skies. I mean, blue as blue, not a cloud in the sky. But it was beautiful. We don't see that anymore. You've seen it. You have, with me, been mesmerized. When is somebody going to acknowledge this? Just acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. We've known about cloud seeding. We've known about Operation Popeye. We've known about Operation Storm Fury. We've known about, since the beginning of mankind, man has been trying to manipulate weather. If I can manipulate weather, I control everything. Forget warfare. Forget anything you've ever seen before. What is happening in the whole country, this tragedy, these poor girls kill, little girl, 23 kids, girls. The numbers, please don't hold me to it. At a Christian camp, Innocent. Now, I don't know. I am not saying right now whether this is manufactured weather. Some of you will do, and I tell you, please don't do this, because this is why people think we're crazy, because we have no information. No, that's it. It's HAARP. We'll throw HAARP in there. We don't know. Could be. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. I don't know. So for the first time in a long time, and I'm telling you, Dane Wigington, I've known him now for forever. We've talked about it. And I mean, people thought I was crazy. Anthony Cumia, my dear buddy, pal, now WABC mate. When I was on his show, I don't know, years ago, I brought this up and he said, well, I don't know about this. I said, I know. You're thinking contrails. And he showed me a picture of a B2719, whatever the hell these were. And you saw these. I said, yes, Anthony. Yes. But they don't cover Europe. They dissipate. Yes, when the hot air meets cold temperatures. But today, based upon the current state of the art of engine design, the exhaust is cooled. You don't get these. It's not what you think. Might have been years ago. They're spraying something. Now, go to geoengineering. Let me go right now. You're not going to do this. I understand this. Let me go to geoengineering. This is geoengineering under Google. Geoengineering. First of all, what does it say? Geoengineering, also known as climate engineering or climate intervention, refers to large-scale interventions designed to counteract the effects of climate change. It primarily focuses on either carbon dioxide removal or solar radiation management. Solar radiation management is really the one. That's one. Stratospheric aerosol injection, SAI. Marine cloud brightening, space mirrors, surface albedo modification. It goes on and on and on. But keep going. Look at geoengineering, MIT Technology Review, the Saleta Institute, Center for International Environmental Law, Royal Society. Look up Harvard. Look up the Deming. In geoengineering, everything you need to know is there. It's there. Everything is there. So this is the most important. This is the most important. This is critical. I want you to understand the urgency of this. The investigative notion that reflects the gravity of what Marjorie Taylor Greene's proposed legislation, tying in the broader implications of DARPA and RFK Jr. and Trump and ongoing public concern about government weather modification. They have been pushing, they have laughed at us for so long. They're doing it right in front of you. It's like three-card Monte. They're laughing at you. They have been laughing at you. You don't understand how critical this is. They know exactly what they're doing. And they're just, they get a kick out of it. They get a kick out of it. They love mocking you. Sprayed and betrayed would be maybe the theme for this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG, has declared war on the government's darkest open secret. Listen to me. Can't say this enough, my friends. Can't say this enough. And like I said, some members of my family have thought I was going crazy. Mrs. L would say, please keep your eye on this, on the the road, because I'm saying, look. And finally I just stopped. I just said, I can't. I'm wasting my time with this. But I kept saying, look, it's right here. I don't have to read anything. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to research anything. Just look. And I used to work with these weather people on TV shows. I said, why don't you get out there and ask the question, what happened to the clouds? What is this? These aren't clouds. So while Americans were celebrating Independence Day, which was great with hot dogs and fireworks and all that stuff, Mother Nature delivered something. I love that. Mother Nature. Far less festive, I guess. Catastrophic flooding across central Texas. Entire neighborhoods swallowed in minutes. Power grids buckled. Lives lost. But what if this devastation wasn't just some freak weather event? What if it was engineered? What if it was engineered? Is that possible? On July the 5th, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's today, dropped a political bombshell that's been years, if not decades in the making. In a post on X, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I am with her 100%. She is coming in. She is forming a new, Elon Musk is talking about the need for a new party. We don't need a new party. We need a new direction, a new focus. And she and others have been talking about this returning to America first and asking, why are we connected and beholden to this BB? He's coming to New York, to Washington again. So what is going on here? That has been monumental. Listen to me. Listen like you've never listened before, especially if you're brand new. Welcome. This is so critical. We are a new, I don't know what we are, MAGA, Republican, Trump, I don't know what you want to call us. And we are saying for the first time, no. There are Democrats breaking away from the Democratic Party. We have a race in New York which is so critical for the entire country, not just here. Zoran Mamdani. And I am throwing in my support 100% for Eric Adams, who's the only one who can beat him. And I want Curtis Sliwa, my dear friend, and Cuomo to drop out and throw their support. We cannot risk this. This cannot be some vanity venture here. Sorry. This is realism. But back to what I was saying. Marjorie Taylor Greene announced that she will be introducing legislation to make it a felony offense for any entity, including the government, to inject or disperse or spray chemical substances into the atmosphere with the intent of altering the weather or temperature or sunlight or climate. That's right. A federal ban on geoengineering. Finally. I am introducing, she said, a bill that prohibits the injection, release, or dispersion of chemicals or substances into the atmosphere for the express purpose of altering weather, temperature, climate, or sunlight intensity. She said it will be a felony offense. God bless her. She says the bill is modeled after Florida's Senate Bill 56, which already punishes such activity with heavy fines and potential prison time. And she made it clear that it was not a knee-jerk reaction or some publicity stunt or political stunt. She's been working with legislative counsel for months. And now with the timing uncannily cannily aligned with Independence Day's weather chaos. The issue has gone from kind of fringe to federal. And she's not alone. She's not alone. We've been here. You've been with me the whole time. You know me. This is something I can't, because it was so obvious. RFK Jr. names DARPA. Did you see this? Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Not exactly a man known for throwing around baseless theories. Though the methylene blue, I don't know. Anyway, he's gone on record linking stratospheric aerosol injection to DARPA. This is the Pentagon's, shadowy research arm. And a now viral segment on Dr. Phil. Bobby Kennedy addressed a woman concerned about stratospheric aerosol injections, including aluminum, strontium, bromium, and that which is sprayed daily. She calls out Dane Wigington by name. That is not happening in my agency, Kennedy replied. We think it's DARPA, and a lot of it now is coming out of the jet fuel. That detail stopped loads in their tracks. Jet fuel? Where have we heard that before? If confirmed, this means that aerosols may be embedded in commercial and military aviation, a distribution method hiding in plain sight. They may not even be aware of it. They may have no special aircraft needed, no flight plans to trace, just spray, fly, and deny. Kennedy added he was hiring someone to investigate the matter full-time and vowed, he said, to hold those responsible accountable. Now, whether or not that happens remains to be seen. But now it's one of the most high-profile acknowledgments of a program we have been screaming about forever. How long have you been screaming about it? Long dismissed as conspiracy. Trump's warning. Trump says maybe it's the spray. And then there's Donald Trump. God bless this man, known for his blunt, kind of uncanny instincts and populist candor. Trump has repeatedly suggested that something being sprayed in the environment could be responsible for the dramatic spike in autism and chronic illness in American children. There's something wrong. This is his quote. There's something wrong. We've done something wrong. Maybe it's a spray that we spray all over the place that nobody else does. Other countries don't. The Pennsylvania Dutch don't do anything, and they're amazingly healthy. Well, they would inhale and ingest the spray as well, but that's another story. Now, this isn't mere speculation. It's a presidential level red flag. Now, whether it's connected to vaccines or toxins or geoengineering, Trump's suspicion is clear. Whatever is happening in our skies may be destroying the next generation. Do you hear this? Do you hear what's going on right now? Our good friend George Lenz says, let's not forget that these aerosol ingredients are also seriously toxic, and they've been playing this game since time immemorial. Indeed, sir, and thank you for that. When I saw this, I couldn't believe this. Weather is a weapon. We have wanted this forever. Was it Operation Storm Fury and seeding clouds? If you control the weather, if I control the weather through DARPA or otherwise, or HARP or anything, I will do it. If I can drill down and use direct energy weapons on some tectonic plate, some vulnerable juncture, something, I can just change everything. If DARPA and federal agencies are actively manipulating the weather, think about this. Think about this one. This is the most important. If they're actively manipulating the weather, then this isn't climate research, it's weather warfare. And not necessarily against other nations, but against American citizens. Now, the flooding in Texas wasn't the first suspected incident. Snowfalls in summer, heat waves that break historic records, hurricanes that stall in place, fires that erupt from nowhere, go, stop, fires that only affect certain buildings and structures and homes. These aren't always natural acts. In a world of HAARP and ionosphere heaters, that's HAARP, and advanced geoengineering patents filed openly for decades, the question isn't whether the technology exists, it's who's using it and why. And they don't care whether you know about this or not. You don't understand. They don't care. You mean nothing to them. They're laughing at you. They're doing it right in the open. They have things like Wikipedia to come along. It's changed. Enter MTG's bill. Her legislation cuts straight through the euphemisms. No more solar radiation management. No more climate intervention. No. The bill identifies the act for what it is. Chemical manipulation of the sky. Often without public consent or even awareness. And this is complicity through science. For years, the media mocked chemtrails. Experts scoffed. They laughed at you. The term was memory hold as internet fringe nonsense. But now, with Bobby Kennedy, Trump, and MTG all sounding the alarm, and with the great Dane Wigington, who himself has been talking about this forever, risking everything, devoting his time, his effort, his money, his treasure, the narrative has shifted. This is no longer about conspiracy. This is about accountability. Even Alex Jones, the great Alex Jones, long maligned for calling out the government's weather manipulation practices. In fact, he was probably first. He's weighing in. He recently suggested the 4th of July floods in Texas could be. He says specifically, I can't tell you whether they are, but it could be the result of geoengineering gone wrong, or worse, a test. Quote, he said they're always beta testing these systems on their own people. They say it's to fight climate change. What they're doing is playing God. And they're not just altering the weather. They're altering us. That's what we're talking about right now. So what's happening now? Marjorie Taylor Greene's bill may be the first real legislative effort to confront the program head on. But make no mistake, it's going to be met with resistance because she's crazy. They're going to talk about her space lasers and let them bring it on. Doesn't matter. Remember, ignore it. The same unelected bureaucrats, the military contractors and NGO climate zealots who've been operating for years, in the background, in the shadows, they're going to fight back big time. The question is, will the public finally fight for the truth? Are you going to fight for the truth? What are you going to do? What are you going to say? What's going to be your take? Are you going to sit back and see how it handles, how it turns out? Are you going to sit back? This is a chance for you. If not you, if we do not show what an overwhelming response is on every level, and you have social media, that's where it is. That's the public square. That's the back fence. That's the town. That's it. That's the newspaper. That makes more of an effect than anything you've ever seen. Are you going to fight for the truth? Every sky that you see streaked with this unnatural haze and these, again, it's like a, what would you call it? Cheesecloth kind of thing. I don't know. Every weather anomaly you write off as coincidence. Every unexplained illness, every neurological disorder, everything that just happened out of nowhere. What if it all connects? And the only way we're going to get to the bottom of it is if we stand up and say, we want to know the answers now. You can't sit back anymore and just say, you know what, I'll let them take care of this. I'll just, you know what, They'll take care of it. You're not going to hear about this on Fox News. You're not going to hear about this on Fox News. You're not going to hear about this on Newsmax or that other clown, the baby show. Oh, News Nation or nothing. If it's on cable, you ain't going to hear it. You're not going to hear it on the regular station. You're not going to hear it. Nobody is going to talk about this because it has been labeled crazy. And you're crazy. And you're a conspiracy theorist. That's what they're going to do. That's it. I'm telling you. I know their MO. So do you. We've been lied to before. Weapons of mass destruction. We have lied to about gain of function research. Remember that, Fauci? Nothing happened to him. We've been lied to about surveillance, about Epstein, about 9/11, about Vietnam, about the Gulf of Tonkin. Do I have to go on and on? Are we really supposed to believe? No, seriously. Are we really supposed to believe that your government wouldn't experiment with the weather or on us? Do you really believe that? What's it going to take? Are you going to join the fight this time? It's up to you. Every instinct you have, like most Americans, is like, you know what? I'll let them talk about it. What am I going to do? I'm just, you know what? I'll follow this. Maybe I'll like it or I don't know. That's the problem. It's this torpor, this ennui, this concretized, sedentary focus. You know, MTG's bill, rather, isn't just a legal proposal. It's a line in the sand. A red line. We've heard about these red lines. It's a red line. A chance to demand, finally, transparency and finally, maybe put an end to a program whose effects may already be irreversible. Do you know what this has done? Remember when you were talking about things like nanotechnology that might be contained in certain, vaccines? I don't know. There's no evidence of that, I guess. But isn't that something? What if it's right there? What if over a period of time, you're just breathing this? You don't know what you're breathing. Every day, they spray at night, they spray in the daytime. Have you ever seen those days when they're not spraying, how beautiful it looks? Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen those beautiful days when they're not spraying? George Len says, we were talking about this 10 years ago here. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Robert Malloy says, I wish my Indian brothers would quit dancing. I wish my Indian brothers would quit dancing. I wish my Indian brothers would quit dancing. I don't know what that means. Rain dance, Indian, Asian, I don't know. But thank you. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe I just don't get the joke. Now, you know and I know that the government, our government, can no longer hide behind this, the usual stuff, the scientific jargon. Not when the skies are chalky white, when crops are dying, when floods are biblical, children are sick. How about this? How about people who worry about a gas engine that could somehow melt the, icebergs thousands of miles away? About a gas engine or about a fan. Remember, they wanted to get rid of ceiling fans and pizza ovens, and they wanted to get rid of gas stoves. Remember that? Just to see what they could do. And now we have something that is admittedly seen spraying in the sky. And nobody's approved of this. And then you have Bill Gates who says, well, we're going to try to control climate change. Excuse me. Who are you to do this? Did anybody approve this? You're spraying this? Solar radiation management, carbon dioxide removal. What? Nobody's talking about this. Let me say this again. The people who were actively involved in this issue, this thing called climate change, they're not saying a word about it. Something is being sprayed. Is there anyone here who has not seen this? Is there anyone watching today who says, I really am not sure what you're talking about. I haven't seen any spraying, or I haven't seen hazy days. I mean, the haze that's normal, right? I mean, I haven't, yeah, sometimes you don't see the sun. And does anybody here not know this? Is there anybody here? I mean, there might be. Something is being sprayed. Something is being sprayed. And it's time we name it and ban it and hold the architects of this accountable before they turn the weather into the ultimate weapon and the people into acceptable collateral damage. Let me tell you something. This is something. I want you to understand something, my friends. This is a wake-up call. You can decide not to take a vaccine if you want. I mean, you can, refuse, and you can do whatever you want. You cannot go to the doctor. You cannot, wear a mask. You cannot, but you cannot not breathe. You cannot not go outside. I told you last night we have these friends of ours, and they sent us a very cute picture of their granddaughter. I guess at her first July 4th, thing. And they had little ear muffs or, ear guards to prevent her from being shocked by the sound, by the explosions. And that's right. That poor kid, from the time it takes its first breath, walks outside. I don't know what's going on. I want to tell you a story that I'd like to do. And I'm no expert in this. And I'm no sci-fi guy. But I want to tell you my story. And maybe it's been done. I don't think so. But if it's done, you heard it here first. In my dystopian novel, I'm going to have something sprayed. Something that's metallic, something that's nanoparticulate, something that's real tiny. That gets into the system, that gets into everybody's lungs, and it takes years, and it makes them basically metallic. It changes the chemistry of the blood. It may not even be a poison per se. It just may change pH and the metallic nature of blood. So you become almost a transistor. You become a capacitor. You become whatever the electronics term. And then I go to the thing that nobody talks about. Never. 5G, 6G next. Remember Trump said one time, 5th generation Wi-Fi, 5th generation towers everywhere. I think of this baby born, breathing outside, breathing. I don't know what. Never had a moment. But anyway, in my world, everybody's metallic. And then when I want some days, I just fire up my 5G, 6G, or something, and I just fry people. Or shut things down, or slow things down. You are the capacitor. You are the reference point. You are the object of this thing that I'm directing. Far-fetched? Yeah, that couldn't happen. Something happened to our spirit. We don't object. It's been left to us. We are the members of the conspiratorium. We're the ones they laugh at. We're the ones that go, oh, those crazy people. And some of you are absolutely bug-ass crazy. But that doesn't mean you're not right. And we've been saying about this. And now all of a sudden, it's okay. Trump's saying it. Bobby Kennedy's saying it. Okay. Bobby Kennedy's not the first person to talk about dyes. We've been talking about this thing forever. We've been talking about, I remember going and talking about GMOs forever. There was a young lady, I don't know if she was just a kid. I saw a picture of her recently. Her name is Rachel Parent. And you know that guy, Kevin, what's his name, from Shark Tank, Kevin Leary. She tore him a new one. She was a little girl. I mean, destroyed him about GMOs. I remember talking about that. Never caught on. Never caught on. There was a piece of legislation in California that merely would have labeled, just labeled, it would have labeled GMOs. That's all it was. Wouldn't ban anything, just label it. And it failed. Because of Monsanto's and the Bears and all the big the companies that own everything. We've seen this before. Remember how one seed gets out and is mixed with another, and they remember it was a Food Incorporated. Remember that? And we sit back, not you, but we, the country, and we sit back and say, well, somebody will take care of it. Can't be that bad. I mean, if it was that bad, it'd be illegal, right? Right? I saw something the other day. There's a guy named, have you ever seen him? Dr. Mike. Have you seen him ever? Who's seen Dr. Mike? This guy's got 12 million, maybe, followers. I have never seen in my life anybody as pro vaccine as he was. Never. I mean, he is to vaccine. Even the people who, now, as I've said, and I think most of us have said, I am not an expert. I know nothing about vaccines. Nothing. I look to other people, let other people experts. Many of you are experts because, you're an expert. You're an expert in everything. You know everything. I proudly say I know nothing about that. But I do know one thing. All of a sudden people are saying, hey, there's this thing called APAC. And this is the American Israeli Public Affairs Committee. It's not a PAC per se. And it's called the Israeli lobby. Incorrectly called the Jewish lobby because the Zionists or the Israeli lobby, many of them are Christians. They have nothing to do with Judaism. Anyway, but we say, wow. And it's like, where have you been? Where have you been? You think APAC is big? Try big tech lobby. Good luck with that. They'll bury APAC. Bury them. What if I found out? And I'm just saying, and I'm not making any suggestions one way or another. But what if in my movie, I say, let's go and let's pay the best new stars, the influencers. And let me get people out there to say that they love whatever it is. Not vaccines, but anything. Eventually we're going to find out, we're going to start seeing things like, who pays you? Who pays you? Where does this come from? Who? And if you're out there, if you're saying, and I believe that, let's say there's a guy who said, I'm for red meat. I'm a paleo or I'm a carnivore advocate and eat raw meat like that Jordan Peterson. What if I found out theoretically that the cattle industry was paying me to say that? You think that matters? I don't know if I necessarily want this, but since we're in full disclosure, since we're all this. So who is it that's, I don't know if anybody's for this because nobody knows about this yet. Because this is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for people to say, well, I'm for spraying. Maybe there will be somebody. But who are these people? Who is spraying this? Who's paying them? You mean to tell me that if it is in the jet fuel, that airlines don't know this? You mean to tell me that somebody says, excuse me, make sure you use this gasoline, it's jet fuel. Yeah, use this, not gasoline. Why? It's, do they know this? if it's true, what are we going to do about it? I'll tell you what most Americans are going to do. Nothing. Because they don't get nothing to do. Because they're saying, look, if I have to worry now I got to worry about what? Jet fuel? Oh, for the love of God. I'm just trying. Look, it's a 4th of July weekend. Just leave me alone. Stop telling me I got to worry about this. And I'm so tired of you always warning me. That's what Americans think. How do we fix that? We go out and we tell them this. And we spread the word. And all you have to do, the next time you see a plane is say, hey, Jerry, what are they spraying? Oh, they're not spraying. That's not spraying. Well, what is that? Well, that's just, you don't think that's condensation, do you? Well, do you know what geoengineering is? No. Do you know what stratospheric aerosol injections are? No. Do you know what solar radiation management is? No. You know what the dimming is? Have you ever seen geoengineeringwatch.org? Check that baby out. That's the Bible. Geoengineeringwatch.org. Check out the dimming. The dimming. I've been screaming. And two things. Well, one. It's not so much that. Well, there are two things. Number one is how nobody cares or knows. Or when I point this out, I say, well, it's nothing. Because they love to tell me I'm crazy. There are people who just love to tell me I'm crazy. Because I'm just crazy. I'm just crazy. Crazy about this, crazy about that. I'm always crazy. I said, I don't think I'm crazy about this. Because I'm very careful what I say. And number two, they don't like to be told that they don't know yet again something else. You mean I don't know about that too? I'm getting tired of this. You make me feel kind of stupid. I don't know this. I don't know that. I don't know. You're telling me all these things I don't know? I'm getting tired of this. I'm getting tired of you telling me things I don't know. Please stop telling me that. I'm sorry, I don't. And there are people who just don't like to know anything. Even at the height, do you remember when everything was going on regarding the Rona, how more people that you knew just jumped in, leapt, both feet, loved it. I've got these stupid friends of the family. And one guy was pointing to his thing. I said, do you know what you're doing? Well, we got to do this. I said, do you know that nobody tested this? Vaccines work, but they have to be tested. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I think medicine works, but sometimes I think thalidomide might have been a bit of a problem, but, he had no interest. He just he needed to get his little thumbprint or profile picture on his Facebook account so we can say, stay home, save lives, whatever it was. You remember how they leapt? Nobody questioned anything because it's inconceivable for the government to have allowed something or, God forbid, be complicit when we're trying to stop this deadly. Nobody knew anybody who ever died or nothing. Remember that? Nothing. Oh, there might have been one, but so they say, people with comorbidities. I thought that was something. But no, that compares nothing to people who won't look up and say, okay, this one I'm biting. What is that? They won't even do that. And the deep state does it right in front of you. And they tell you, they go online, they tell you, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Edie Crowley, our friend, writes, Edie says, State of Fear, the novel written by author of Jurassic Park, was ahead of its time, 2004, goes against the present accepted narrative of warming. By the way, Edie, use an asterisk whenever you are putting a name. Just put an asterisk. It's very simple. You can also spell it out phonetically. Thank you, by the way, for your kindness. You can always write anything here. Asterisks, spread the word apart, different ways of doing it. It's machine, whatever it is. But thank you. My heart leaps over what I'm seeing. Maybe we're going to make some progress. Maybe. I'm seeing something right now. You still... The Mark Levins of the world cannot understand what is happening regarding the Bibi Netanyahu brigade. They can't see it. Absolute, or maybe he doesn't want to see it. I don't know. But I'm saying to myself, do you know what's happening here? It's like years ago when people said, hey, you know what? People aren't smoking as much. Smoking is dropping precipitously. Well, I smoke. Well, I know you do, but around the country, and look at smoking now. You rarely see it. Not like in the old days. I mean, you rarely see people smoke. Even vaping has dropped significantly. So when you have to be aware of it, you may not be able to explain why. You just have to notice things. But if the tobacco industry is paying you money to promote smoking, you don't want to hear that smoking is decreased. You want to go out there and you want to spread the word because you're being paid, just like product placement. You want to be paid. You want this. Now, one of these days, I'm asking a very simple question: how many people? YouTube will always ask that if you're going to be promoting something, just put a little check mark that says the following contains promotion. Okay. But if I'm directly being paid, I mean, one could say, not just to promote, gold or whatever, but I'm a spokesperson for the bacon industry, and I'm talking about how not only bacon's good for you, but it's healthy. Forget the nitrates, the nitrosamines, forget all that. Oh, it's good for you. Wow. And what if I'm a doctor? Some of the stuff doctors say, it's just unbelievable. I don't know if I want to go there yet. I really don't know. I think you should be told, buyer beware and be aware of what's happening. So the good news is, my friend, that. So rest assured, thank the Lord that finally maybe we're making some progress. So Kelly McKinnon, thank you so much for your kindness. George Lenz, thank you. Robert Malloy, thank you. Edie Crowley, thank you. Let me remind you again, July the 19th, the Cutting Room. Tickets, there's a link right there in the comments section. There's another link at the top of this. Tickets are available. I want to see you. You have to remember, this is not Bill Burr or something, which is fine, but this is different. This is a town hall board of directors of the conspiratorium. This is a different story. This is like a board meeting for the knowledgeable and the concerned, if that makes any sense. All right? Okay? Capiche? Capiche? Okay, my friends. Well, listen, thank you for your time and effort. Don't forget to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. She's got some great stuff on Diddy that'll blow your mind. Some of the best coverage ever. Also, on the Lionel Legal section, make sure you go. That's our sister station. I just did one, kind of a pickup of where we went today, from connecting Bernays, victim identification, and the satanicization of society through inversion of morality, of what's up and down. Diddy was an agent. He's an agent of evil. This is not just, I know it sounds like, what? Oh, yeah. So that's at Lionel Legal. Make sure you go there, sign up, listen to the latest installment. Okay? And thank you for being with us, and thank you for caring. We're making tremendous, and thank you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. God bless her. I mean it. God bless her. So, my friends, until we meet again, this is your new best friend, Lionel, reminding you, as I always do, with this valedictory, this sayonara, the monkey's dead, the show's over, sue ya. Da-da.